Good evening, I say on the big evening edition around Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. This morning, and December brain are costing the water sports. They don't come over. We are climaxing the evening with a big one, big updates about like we've always been doing on Fridays. No, it's the updates on coaches pre-match press conference. And in December over the weekend matches near Barcelona. We go into them and it's some news of everything that's going on in the water sports. They will come out them out on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. But Saturday, Sunday, so games will be there. Into obviously your channel Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube will put together the best picks for you on Betway. This Champions League wasn't so good. Just that game what's the name? Lille. Any Dortmund and Mian more goes affecting. But then we'll go back again this weekend. I have turn on notification. Subscribe to the channel, not turn notification. Send it once a channel in the morning by 8 a.m. No, you will see I drop a video, and in the description of the video, it's my picking up across all Fiifi-Manfred user handles and so on all social media. You can go and enjoy some codes or channel. Maybe come on, and you out. Again, subscribe. Once subscribe, yeah, make sure to subscribe. And then where do we start from? In about a couple of years now, what Madrid want to do in the long term is to have a brand friend Xabi Alonso as a manager. After a brand friend Carlo Ancelotti will leave. Now, so last year, before said Liverpool for Ecofa brand friend Arne Slot as a manager in the absence of Jurgen Klopp. One of the coaches that he did consider was former Liverpool player, current coach of Bayern for Leverkusen, our friend Xabi Alonso. Now, of course, last season was such a huge season for Xabi Alonso, taking the team to Europa League final, winning, not winning over there, but then going almost unbeaten. The German Bundesliga team, of course, in Europe. It was the last one against Atalanta. And also the match which was very, very important over there. Now, they have come into the season and they are in the Champions League, playing some good football. The last time out against your friend FC Bayern Munich, they lost that game to them by 3-0. So it is a Leverkusen team at this season. Yes, they are performing well, but people were thinking, say, this season I can buy for a rookie manager in a branch of Vincent company. Maybe it would have been easier for them to win the German Bundesliga, but still they're struggling in there. Bayern for no crown in the last time the Champions League made it clear to them, say, if it's just a German team there, if it's just about somebody that can dominate it, and in Germany, when in Europe, nobody then Ayomo, FC Bayern Munich, not buying off for Leverkusen. By then, news I break or Madrid, a really interesting, very, very interesting news. And I break your Madrid crew on them, and it looks as you said that is where we are heading towards. What we are hearing, a little bit straightforward. The fact that Carlo Ancelotti signed contracts this season and there, Madrid are not looking to let him go. Madrid, Somoma, Carlo Ancelotti and co. But the thing is that if they let Carlo Ancelotti stay, he won't stay as a manager, won't stay as a coach. What Carlo Ancelotti is going to do at Madrid is that when the season ends and his contract ends, the extension that he will get is going to be in some role more like a sporting directorship thereabouts. I'll best supervise the job of who the manager will be. So he will still keep an eye on team my friend FC Real Madrid. And Madrid for are keen on bringing in a branch here, your friend Xabi Alonso, as the next manager for Real Madrid. This weekend, obviously, Madrid airborne against Rayo Vallecano. Vallecano for the last time out against Madrid was a really difficult game for Madrid. But when you have big injury to Ghanaian brand here, your friend Abdul Mumin, very good centre back. The last time out, he got knee injury and is going to be out for a very long time. And Vallecano for manager friend Lujuin and they said Vinicius seems like a good person who doesn't want to do any harm. About Vallecano for we are talking about Vinicius Jr. and the issues that have been going on with him. During Madrid's training, players say it's near impossible to beat Federico Valverde in 1v1 from right back. Obviously, one very, very workaholic of a central midfielder, difficult player to deal with. Of course, so about right back, you know that's a difficult game over there for him. Ancelotti, I'm beside about so be free Madrid, and then I don't know when, I don't decide. The only clear thing I know is that I don't decide when to leave. The president will. It will happen sooner or later. over there about Carlo Ancelotti. Somebody says, who's going to win the Champions League? Give me 3 names. I say Madrid, City, Liverpool. One of them in a bit winning Champions League according to Carlo Ancelotti. Of course, talking about the team, players on your boy, and of course the preparation for Madrid games at this weekend. Of course, a branch friend Federico Valverde is seen as an important player. I think that in the last few weeks, one of the arguments that I've been making, and they say Pedri is probably the most complete midfielder in the world. I think that Federico Valverde is right there also in that conversation of the most complete midfielders, and complete in the sense of every phase of play. And again, for Federico Valverde, Obama extra more than even what a midfielder. So I think he's probably the best utility player you can find in and around the world. And because wait about 2, wait about 3, wait about centre back, wait about CM, wait about CM. I mean CM not so much. The final ball should get the best in terms of the creative point of view. Say you creative chance movie. Yes, young striking has go, excellent ball striking, dual winning, combativeness. I bet Federico Valverde will give in. I think that he deserves a shout when we are mentioning complete midfielders, and obviously also when it comes to the kind of players and how good they are in the kind of jobs, how well they are in the kind of jobs that they are about to do. A brand friend Federico Valverde, a really important player. Carlo Ancelotti, I say, no plans to join team or Saudi Pro League, it's something that he doesn't want to do over there to join the Saudi Pro League for himself in all of the games there. Enzo Maresca, SA, must-win game, Chelsea versus Leicester City. Much now, but there is good news for Chelsea. Probably the best news that has happened to Chelsea from now to the end of the season. And then Enzo Maresca said it and said it's clutch. Enzo Maresca said 2 of the most important players, 1 centre back, 1 midfielder, are back into the team. Or see, these are players that were show match. He has waited for them. Abrana injuries there, so not all train. Says any players in way ever fit. Send they can come and play football for him. Enzo Maresca, any team in your friend Chelsea Football Club. And we're confirming, say these boys are back. And your Monqua Benoit Benachile are back. There is a branch friend Wesley Fofana who is very important. The last time I kept on saying, say Chelsea midfielder physical enough, all the pace, all the dual winning ability in the air, on the ground, and to make sure so you're very important on the ball as ball carrying as a right-sided center back. No, a branch friend Wesley Fofana is an important player for everybody that knows the kind of job and what he brings to Chelsea team. And Enzo Maresca, so very excited. And then he was in full team training. But then a branch friend Romeo Lavia, I say back in Chelsea team. Makani several times here. Say Chelsea taking league now in the times somewhere from November, December, even October thereabouts, and at Chelsea airdrop points. One of the things that you're realizing is that Chelsea taking lead now, and I can't control the tempo of the game. I can't calm down the game. Send be a game any pintain. That game ain't be slip it through your hand. And these guys, they are technicians. Only time I saw about pass calling him, only time I saw holding on to the ball, only time I saw about back pass, only time I saw about sideways pass, only time when you're catching teammates, it's a munyan to wasi and calming down the game. These are the technicians that control the tempo of the game. And one key player of them, Brantia, your friend Romeo Lavia. Very, very important player in terms of tempo control in our Chelsea. And then we be out back to side game at Chelsea in the full and boy. When Chelsea were up by a goal to 0, but failed to control the tempo of the game and affected them, they ended up losing the game against Bournemouth. Also, Chelsea took the lead, nearly losing the game to team and friend Bournemouth because there was no tempo controller. Our Fiifi-Manfred control team, a bit control game at Chelsea. Then, of course, a take care of branch and the Reece James to come in and then come and get that equalizer. Chelsea nearly lost that. So there have been a lot of games Chelsea are ball without the tempo controller in the middle of the park. For me, this season, the best game I've been with our branch friend Romeo Lavia airball our Chelsea Football Club has been that game away at Anfield versus Liverpool. Super performance for our branch friend Romeo Lavia. And again against Manchester City. I was thinking, Chelsea were not going to be able to get in for now to the end of the season. But good news, and in fact the best news for Chelsea for the rest of the season. No, and about for Enzo Maresca, and only injuries and sometimes as a football pundit, analyst, journalist to an extent, you wonder what would have been made of certain players in things like injuries are affecting. But you see, injuries are things that are unfortunate. You have no control over. And I'm talking about player B to say Reece James, what he could have done at Chelsea Football Club if there were no injuries that would have affected him on a career. Look at yesterday. And now Chelsea game about against Copenhagen. And clear say the quality of Chelsea in the match Chelsea team winning. There is nothing extra else given. Just the quality of Chelsea kita and the match Chelsea team winning some match. Until there is the need to get that quality. Chelsea in quality now. After Leicester game, I'm sure say Enzo Maresca will not risk Abrantia, your friend Romeo Lavia too much against Leicester. So Chelsea team a control game in the last part of another Boca but I'm sure say the game against Arsenal really important. So we will be say Romeo Lavia won't Fiifi on them. So we have our options to get the best team to go and face an Arsenal team and where a lot of injuries on difference makers now any more than any of them. You can win duels and go in there, have Wesley Fofana to go into it. Internet, it was all smiles. They were Cobham, Abra Brentier friend Wesley Fofana, back into the team. All boy Chelsea, Senegal, they can go on from now to the end of the season. On being results or matches now, almost airborne, and a really, really important one for Chelsea Football Club. The not so good thing, and it's a Chelsea most important player from the creative standpoint. Abrantia friend Cole Palmer, he hasn't been good. The most key passes this season, our Premier League, the most key pass according to Squawka and who scored who.com now. I say the most key pass the Premier League this season, Cole Palmer 69. It's you can say progressive forward passes player. When you're born, that's what pick your ball pass con any importance. Then it's Cole Palmer. I can't several times say, and the back where Cole Palmer is standing out as a player. For me, it's the fact that when you watch Cole Palmer, on Sheda a lot of the ball carrying. Ujai ball in Mount 10, no arrested. Send the ball bit to my bench ball was back on him. And it's very, very important attribute from our brand here friend Cole Cole Kwesi Palmer over there. Over 69 passes. Mohamed Salah 63, Dejan Kulusevski 63, Bruno Fernandes 59, Enzo Fernandez 51 also. And now I say, so Enzo Fernandez what a player. I mean, Chelsea we have had a lot of questions, wondered, asked, said, okay, maybe Enzo Maresca, Enzo Fernandez, no nyade and I didn't see that Chelsea for that yesterday. If you watch Enzo Fernandez against Copenhagen, you would understand why he's an important player. And Obermun in a game, he took the game by the scruff of its neck. And you see, one thing about midfield action and play is when a midfielder wants to show up. And Enzo Fernandez will show up for the ball at any point in time to carry the ball for the player forward pass. Again, the leadership, tenacity, and passion, all show of partners. And I'm not saying, as Enzo Fernandez, Chelsea fans, there is this telepathic relationship between only Chelsea fans. I said, Odomobino kid, Kusi badge, and then puts himself in the game. And that's something really important to Enzo Fernandez aside just the border or border, and it's very important. And now it means that now a captain, a vice captain, and the team goes at the club. It's important. Enzo Maresca say the best attribute of working for Reece James and Enzo Fernandez in the last few days has been the attitude of leadership. According to Enzo Maresca, both two players now issue a lot of leadership. Omni this year, they rally the boys on the field of play, get them to deliver in terms of some good stuff, bono, which is very, very important. And that's what Abrantia friend Enzo Maresca can say. When you're in the midfielders and the captain and then the vice captain at home our Chelsea Football Club, what is something that is very, very important. One Chelsea player in recent times, the performances that's from Kakra. Abrantia, your friend Jadon Sancho. Very likely say Chelsea may keep it. But in the last few games, Jadon Sancho has struggled Kakra. And of course, as the game goes on, Leicester City game will probably be one of the matches that Chelsea will look to count on Abrantia friend Jadon Sancho. And then after another game, we got 10 consecutive games on either of an assist or a goal. Something not good for a player of the caliber of Abrantia, your friend Jadon Sancho. I'm very, very certain. Say Jadon Sancho would want to get back to some very, very good influencing game or bit influencing game better. No team didn't want him. Maybe be come up. Say Abrantia, your friend Jadon Sancho very important to them over there. Important. I say Pomubisa Enzo Maresca and on a pre-match press conference was say West is back and can be involved in Sunday. Maresca say or percent fans the support from now to the end of the season. Senebea Obetiminya results. So on Sunday we need our fans 95 and 100% minutes, 100 minutes. We need to win the match, and I like the fact of the pressure. So Moisca said we had the yellow card, and Maresca and Kofobi Sekache Maresca saying Leicester here and Conrestino Senebea and game no against team your friend Arsenal, our branch friend Moisca said can come in and come and play. According to Enzo Maresca, I say Leicester, despite the issues, I say we need to win games. Although Arsenal and Spurs are there, we need to win games. Maresca said Lavia could make the bench against Leicester, which is important. Something that's very good for Leicester. And I know a Cole interview or say the way Maresca edging game no. The way Maresca thinks about the game no. Or no, who is any coach no. A light years ahead of a lot of people. The planning of the game, send your general, send your planning man, your my come on. Also, who is a Maresca, too much of a top coach. And of course, when you say Maresca will come good. Conference League so far, Chelsea 7 games, 7 wins. None of them have been lost for Chelsea Football Club. Of course, in the Spanish La Liga, Barcelona or Osasuna to play this weekend, and the Spanish La Liga is up for grabs. Spanish La Liga now up for grabs, and everybody that follows the Spanish La Liga need to say it's in there. Barca for to say it's not done yet. Twist and turns the door, so a bit near game. It can happen. Barca can get some not so good results in the near future. Madrid can usurp them. Madrid for him said they need to keep up the heat on team and friend in Barcelona. Atletico de Madrid also aren't giving up on the title in the Spanish La Liga. So it is not just over yet. It is a game or a league where you need to stay in there. A pressure cooker moment of Spanish La Liga name. Although in himself Barca clear on top of the Spanish La Liga, and they need to be careful. Only one team from Europe's top 5 leagues is unbeaten in 2025, and a team, my friend FC Barcelona. Hansi Flick has done a super job. This one I was explaining. Away at Benfica, Hansi could have chosen the ideal way. Say, oh, yen kita ball no, yen try to be good. More about pragmatism over Chornum, and Hansi Flick had a call matching against team, my friend Benfica, especially when he lost. When he lost Pau Kubasi to that red card, no, which is important to him. And then we'll see how things will go on over there for him. A very, very tough one for team and friend in Barcelona in a game against Osasuna, where they are going to play in the next few days. So we will see if Barca can get a job done. Rafinha has been very, very important for team FC Barcelona this season. And if Barca are going to get a job there, then it's going to be set. They will get everything done through some players. BT Abrantia, your friend and Rafinha. Bournemouth are facing a huge fight to keep their team together. Hoytsen, Kekes, Semenyo, Zabani on the radar for a lot of people. Said this season they are going to get them. According to Bournemouth, for almost struggle. Almost every team here in Premier League name, some players need, and they are pushing for any of these players now. Wait to see if Bournemouth can keep their players or they won't be able to keep them. Then we'll see how things are going to go on in terms of players in the UFC Bournemouth and the things that come with it now. Guys, this is where we draw the curtain on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube with respect to all the conversation that we have had with sports, and then we draw the curtain. I'm here watching, we'll be back with detailed analysis for the weekend. Until then, do take care and take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.